All right, the second maxillary molar. The second maxillary molar's roots are going to be less divergent, but the same general features exist here. So it's going to have a really long palatal root, and then the mesial buccal root is going to be a little bit thicker from the buccal lingual aspect, and then the distal buccal root is going to be the smallest of the three, but they're less divergent. They're a little bit closer in comparison. This is the first maxillary molar, so you could see that they kind of spread out a little bit more. Okay. And then, so another feature about the second maxillary molar is that sometimes all these roots are fused. That's going to be a common, a more common feature than something you would see in the first maxillary molar. That's uniquely the second maxillary molar. The third maxillary molar is almost always fused. Okay, and let's see. So for the buccal groove, if you're looking at the buccal groove is located a little bit more to the distal than in the first maxillary molar. The distal buccal cusp is also smaller than the mesial buccal cusp, and it's apparent from this buccal view. Okay, and then on the other side, on the lingual side, that's also very true. So the mesial lingual cusp is going to be a lot bigger than the distal lingual cusp. In fact, sometimes this cusp is not even present. Okay, on the occlusal surface, there's also an oblique ridge. There's going to be a transverse ridge, but the oblique ridge is going to be much less prominent than in the first maxillary molar. And another thing is that there's going to be, not only is there going to be a mesial groove and a distal groove, but there's going to be much more variation. You'll see more supplemental grooves in the occlusal table of the second maxillary molar. Okay, and then the only big difference between the second and the third molar is that there's going to be more of a heart shape, and you'll notice that from this view. Okay, it's more of a heart shape. Sometimes there's only 3 cusps, and like I said earlier, the roots tend to be more fused. So if you ever see very like a strange looking root, bifurcated root with a heart shape with a bunch of supplemental grooves, that's going to be your maxillary third molar. Okay.